5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do you hear me now? How about now? It looks like there's sound, but there's no sight. That's quiet. That's wild, right? Sound? No? No sound? All right, bet. Hold on. We're going to make this happen. Sight and vision. And you know what? I'm not going to start over. I'm not. This is what we're talking about, sight and vision. The definition of sight is the faculty or the power of seeing in a thing. Hey, today's conversation is as real as ever. Sight and vision. All right, the definition of sight, faculty or power of seeing a thing one sees or that can be seen. Take aim or looking through the sight of a gun. Pay attention to the words. The faculty or the power of seeing a thing one sees or that can be seen. Take aim or looking through the sights of a gun. The definition of vision is a faculty or state of being able to see. Again, the faculty or a state of being able to see, the ability to think about, or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. Now, I wanted y'all to pay attention to something. You can have sight without vision, but you cannot have vision without sight. I don't know if you saw the wording in the definition. I'm gonna pull it up, and I want y'all to pay attention to it, and pay attention to it good, because I mean it kind of it kind of played into what happened today. Because I had vision on what I was going to talk about, and the sight went away. Well, there was no sound, but I had vision that what I wanted to do, what I wanted to say, what I wanted to talk about. And then when the sound came in, when the sight came back, now there was sight and vision. But because I had envisioned it, I was seeing without the audience. But then when the audience had the ability to see me, now there was sight. So what are you doing, and what have you formulated inside of your mind that you wanted to see, but you didn't align your sight with your vision? So therefore it was off. And it's like pointing a gun, like I said in the definition of gun, your line of sight. Are you actually going to hit the target? You can go to a range and say, man, I got a vision. I want to hit all of my targets today. I want to hit all of my targets. But when you look behind the line of the sights of the gun itself, and if your sight is not in line with your vision, you're not going to hit all of those targets because you're not seeing it properly. You're not seeing it the way that it should be seen, because you strive to have sight without vision, but you forgot that you cannot have vision without sight. So where do you see yourself? How have you begun to imagine the things that you have, or the things that you're building for yourself? Because when your imagination is small, the things that you see will not come to pass, because you see small. You want big things, but your imagination has not expanded past the small ability that you're creating for yourself. Oh no, I don't see myself having that. Why not? Broaden your imagination. Expand the vision. Because when you expand the things that you see for yourself, then the vision will grow. Yes, when it says in the Bible, without vision, my people will perish. But if you're not seeing yourself in that place, if you're not seeing yourself as a business owner, if you're not seeing yourself as someone who has wealth, if you're not seeing your child as a graduate, if you're not seeing your child as being somebody that has the ability to change the lives of everybody that they have come in contact with, if you're not seeing the amount of information that you're giving your child, the vision that you have for your family or your bloodline will not come to pass, because it is sight without seeing. You have to align those things. And again, if today didn't paint the perfect picture of sight and vision, I don't know what is. I don't know what is going to show you something so clear that you cannot have vision without sight. You have insight, you have foresight. All of those things play a part in how you're going to walk the vision, how the vision is going to come to pass. How is your purpose supposed to be in line with your vision? But again, you have to physically see it. Seeing is having the ability to physically see, but God gives you vision. Vision is something that you can't touch. You can't put your physical glasses on and see the vision. You have to have that God sense. You have to have the ability to see through the woods in order for you to see the pastures behind it. There was a story that I heard this past day. The gentleman was saying he's from Alabama, and I'm sure some of you have seen the same thing in your own cities where you're from, towns that you're in. You have been driving past. He was driving past the woods ever since he was a young man. All he saw was the woods, and every time he drove past this, he acknowledged that the woods was there. But what happened throughout the years, somebody seen past the woods because they had vision of creating a housing area or an estate on the property. So therefore, someone had to have foresight, or someone had to have vision to see past the physical portion of the woods to see the visual manifestation of a housing area. But have you begin to strengthen your physical sight in order for it to align with the God-given vision that you have been blessed with? The same glasses that you can go to an optometrist to go and pick up is not the same thing that you need to see the vision with. It's not the same thing that you see the business before the business is open. That is a personal thing that you have to have within inside of you. So my question to you, have you lost the vision? Have you lost your way? Have you been having these small imaginations? I'm going to tell you, you can get it back, but you have to change how you see it. You have to change the things that you are seeing. Have you ever purchased a vehicle and then as you're driving, you're starting to see a lot of other drive out tags? Or because you purchased a red car and now as you're driving, you're starting to see so many other red cars? That is sight. That is creating a familiar vision. And now you're seeing other things that look with like items that you're seeing inside of your head. But how are you acknowledging the things that you want to do that is going to create a oneness with a line of sight? Because again, from a gun perspective, if your eyes is not in line with the line of sight, if your rear aperture is not aligned with the front aperture, you are not going to hit the target if you're not aiming properly. That means you don't have a proper line of sight. Maybe you need to study a little bit more in order for you to understand that real estate course, or study a little bit more in order for you to understand how to market your business. Study a little bit more in order for you to understand how things work. That is getting your sight in line with your vision. You can't say, I have a vision that I want to make $150,000 this year, but you don't put things in front of you that is going to give you the proper sight picture. Again, your imagination is so small that it's not going to be in line with the wisdom of the vision. Because again, it says in the definition of vision, it is a plan that is implemented through your imagination or your wisdom. Because if your wisdom is wise words, ways, and actions, then therefore you must align the things that you see, the gathering or the consumption of the knowledge that you're receiving when you're reading or studying. In order for you to see it, you must gather the information. You must see it. You must allow yourself to see through it. A lot of times we're off. And I can speak again, as you saw today, it was off. It sound good. You heard the music. Just like we spoke about You Disrupt You. You heard the music, but you was distracted by there was no sight. You couldn't see it. But then when the sight came in, the sight picture was in line with the vision of the 7:30 podcast that comes on in the morning. Again, if you didn't see how all of this played out, trust me, I didn't do it on purpose. If you didn't see how all of this played out, man, this is so much in line with what we're talking about with sight and vision. And align your sight, align your camera, ensuring all of that stuff actually works before you come and bring somebody else in your sightless vision, but you want them to participate in the foolishness that you have because you think that it looks good, that it sounds good, but you don't have yourself in order before those things to have order within your steps. Order in your steps get you to the vision. Not having a direct line of sight takes you out of the order of the steps, takes you out of your vision, takes you out of your blessing, it can take you out of your business that you had a vision in establishing, but because you didn't align yourself with the things that needed to be done, the doors will never open. Again, that's sight and vision, those simple words. But those simple words play a large part in what you do. Those simple words play a large part in how you raise your children. Those simple words play a large part in how you communicate with people. You ever been around somebody and their vision is always off, but they trying to get you to see it? Oh, come on, man, let me show you something. Like, nah, it's not my vision to be in your vision. I need you to see your vision. You don't need me to see it, but I need you to see it. And then when they come back to you, like, man, you know what? I appreciate you. I appreciate you for giving me that insight. Again, that sight, you can have sight without vision, but you cannot have vision without sight. And because you blessed them with the ability of insight, now they can foresee it for someone else. Again, those word plays, but those word plays are important. The word play is important. But that's all I have for y'all. But pay attention to it. Pay attention to what you're seeing. Pay attention to the sights in which you have your sights on. Because if your vision is coupled with your journey, then your journey has to be in line with your destiny. And when your destiny is in line with your vision, your imagination has to come with it. And when your imagination comes along, your imagination gets bigger. Why? Because you're learning along the way. And as you're learning along the way, it is allowing you to tap into that God sense, to tap into those innate abilities to continue to grow. Then after you continue to grow, then that's where the harvest comes in. Why? Because you planted the correct seed. And at the end of the seed, the harvest grows. Then as the harvest grows, it allows you to take that fruit and to bless someone else with. Because on a tree, the last thing to grow is the fruit. You can plant the apple seed, but the tree is going to grow first. And then once the fruit begin to drop, then the sight and seeing the tree, you know what type of tree it is because it bears that particular fruit. But you had to be patient in seeing the tree before you acknowledge the vision of the juice that you can make from seeing what type of tree it is. All right, I'm going for real. Hey, you guys be blessed. Yeah. Sight and vision. Can you see it? If you can see it, you can say it. That's how it was today. You can see it, but I couldn't say it. But once it became in line and it began to work how it was supposed to work, you can see what I'm saying. Y'all be blessed.